Dragon Ball Sparking 0 on the RTX 4090. So this game, Unreal Engine 5, locked to 60, doesn't have any upscaling options, but we're on the highest settings at 4K. And I did one adjustment in order to be able to be above 60. So remember, if you go below 60 in this game, you're actually going to get the game to slow down. So you need to go into the engine.ini file and add these lines, these ones. But you gotta make sure that you can reach that frame rate. Otherwise, if it drops below whatever you set here, the game will slow down. So in this case, we're doing 4K 120. So that's what you need to do. Link in the description for these lines, where I got them from. Where's this config file, you might ask? Well, it's on users, your username, app data, local, Sparking 0, saved, config, Windows, and here's the file. Save the file, and you can launch the game now. You're going to see a lot of stuttering, even if you are at 6 FPS. But as you can see, it's a super easy game to run when it comes to the GPU side. We are at 120 right now, but the GPU is basically sleeping. It's at like 50 to 70%, especially when there's a lot of effects on screen. It goes into the 70%, but it's all fine. It's so easy to run. I mean, there's no reason why the game, I mean, it's a fighting game, I get it, but it's so easy to keep it at 120 at 4K. That's why I'm doing 8K in this video as well. But as you can see, it's completely fine. Sorry about the screen tearing, by the way. So yeah, that's the reason why I recommend you open that config file. Otherwise, you're locked to 60, and the GPU at 4K, at least this one, at 6 FPS, at least you can play online, but the GPU usage will be like below 50%. It's ridiculously easy to run. The thing is, when you go to 8K, I think 4K is interesting, but I think 8K on this card, trying that makes more sense. I think it will be more fun, actually. Oops. But it's super smooth. This is fantastic. The thing is that, and the shader compilation stutter, that the more you play, the less you'll see it, but still, I don't see the difficulty of adding a shader compilation pass by the developers. But I'm guessing in an update they're probably going to add it if there is a lot of demand from that. Alright, we're now at 8K. Yeah, actual 8K resolution. Insanely high resolution, ridiculously sharp. Personally, I wouldn't use this resolution. But as you can see, the 4090 on the highest settings at 8K can be into the 50s. Looks, again, insanely sharp. The GPU now is fully utilized, which is what we needed, of course. But this just shows me how far away we are from 8K gaming. It's clearly a resolution that requires heavy upscaling to work properly. So probably instead of doing 8K native, I'll probably do a little bit of upscaling. But again, 50% 8K is basically 4K, so not a big deal. We can fix it very easily. But if for some reason you have an 8K monitor or screen, I mean, yeah, it's possible. It's using half the VRAM though, which is interesting. And the game slows down a little when you're playing like this because it drops below 60, but that's okay. So there we go. Let's drop it a little bit so it doesn't drop below 60 and it stays at full speed at an upscaled to 8K resolution. We're back in the options menu. 8K, as you can see here, a ridiculously high resolution. Resolution scale 67%. This is basically 5K. 50% would be 4K. So everything on the highest. 8K with upscaling from 67%. Again, 5K. Now we're at 5K upscale to 8K. And as you can see now, the GPU is once again being like 60% used, but we're at lock 60. We have, well, the shader compilation stutter once again, which is the norm, unfortunately. But with these settings, you can play online. The game looks stupidly sharp on a 4K screen. And again, at least I've been looking at PS5 Pro benchmarks out there. And the games that are actually with an 8K option is 8K upscaled from 4K. So we're actually playing at 5K over here. And the GPU basically doesn't care. So again, I don't think 8K native makes a lot of sense. I think you could even do 80% 8K, honestly. But at 5K, I think it's the best of both worlds. You get the upscaling, the downsampling, that is said. So on a 4K monitor, basically no aliasing whatsoever. But you get a good GPU usage. It's basically at 60% right now, which is basically the usage I get at 4K, but targeting 120. But then with effects on screen, there's no reason not to play at this resolution if you have a 4K monitor. Just for the fact that, again, we're doing super sampling. So it's insane. It's an insane pixel count. Alright, so now we're at 1440p, targeting basically 240. We'll see if it can stay there consistently. Again, we have shader compilation stutter, the first launch. This is, again, just for the memes. Maybe if you have a 4090, you have a 1440p 240 monitor, but as you can see, while actually playing the game, it's in slow motion. Why is that? Well, because we're not hitting that target frame rate that we set in the config file. So I'm guessing we're CPU bound now in this game. But yeah, if you want to do 144, you can do it just fine using this at 1440p or 1080p, but going above 144 is basically CPU limited. So that's why this is in slow motion. If I put it at 144, no problem. But the fact that you can do 4K 120, 8K 50 to 60, it tells you how the GPU performance in the game is. Unfortunately, going above 60 means you cannot play online, but I think it's a good option if you're playing the campaign. Looks super smooth at 120 and at 4K, super sharp. Or you can do super sampling, put it at 8K or 5K. I recommend 5K on a 4K monitor just because of the fact that there's no aliasing whatsoever. It looks like you're playing an episode, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically it. What would you do if you had this card? What resolution would you choose? Let me know in the comments, and that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys.